Good evening. Once more, we are here with mental mind treatments. So, first of all, Happy New Year to everybody who watches, whether it is tonight, whether it is during the week. Uh, I just want you to know that the year 2023 is a 7 year, but I'll be talking more about that on Wednesday for sure. Before I start with any mental mind treatments or people, I have a little list here if nobody comes up. I wanted to just talk about this a little bit. This is one of my favorite, I don't know how it comes across on the screen, but it's one of my favorite insight. It's got the God box insight cards. And I thought I'd take a look at what would come up for tonight. And it's so appropriate for the beginning of a year. It says, it's got two sides, but one side says, my mind is a machine. I can choose to direct it instead of being directed by it. Again, this is something that I talk quite a bit about, and I'm just going to put that up. So hopefully you could, well, I know my finger's a bit in the way there. Hang on, I'll put it on this side. And so you can just reread it. Sometimes you've got to read something inside to see how it is. And on the other side, it just says, every problem is a gift, a teaching, and an opportunity. And here we see a little box of a gift with a few words that go along with that. Hi, Laurie. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And I just wanted to share that. So then I went to another thing that I have sitting always on my coffee table is the little cards, angel cards. And this one says wisdom. Wisdom comes with, sometimes some people are born wise. Sometimes wisdom comes with a little bit of age and experience and going through things several times. But it is, it is important to be able to understand that and know what that is. I really trust you all had a great holiday season. I know I took the days off. Some days off. I had a visit. My son visited me, and which some of you may already know because I did yesterday. I did a Sunday thought about that, but he's back home now, so I'm back into making bookings. I put out my newsletter today, and if you want to receive it, you'll need to email me or to contact me so I can get you on the list. I usually put out one once a month, mostly. I do have some readings coming up on Saturday the 14th. There is a few time slots for mini readings. So a lot of people like to catch that when it's happening. Let's see, what else is there? I think that basically, I thank you for Karen Lee because of checking in. Make sure if you want anything put in, please write it in because I'm going to start on my list here. I have a couple of friends that phone me, but I also have clients that I promise them I will do some mental mind treatments as I begin to work. And I'm going to first, and I call people who are on my list in my book. I always say like the first one is Miss L. But I also see other things as well. Oh, hi, Mariah. Glad you're here. Okay, the first one is for Miss L. And it is, okay, I'm just got to get back into the sync of this, a little few days off. Okay. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that power and essence is in all of us. And therefore, I can speak my word for Miss L. As I speak my word for Miss L, I know that complete belief in the self and what one wants to create is, I get 100%. That doubt, fear, a sense of loss is all dissipated, that there is only growth, awareness, strength, and purpose. I give thanks in the knowing of this. I give thanks in knowing that there is a forward movement that's increasing and that will bring about joy, love, life in such a whole different way that comes into a bigger expression. And so there, consequently, I give my thanks. But I also know as I bless this, as it moves, that the essence is right there And so we release this unto the thought form of the wonderful, loving vibration by saying, and so it is. And it is, so it is. It is done. It is complete. Okay, Karen Lee has something in. I always have to stretch. Sorry to get close to the thing, but to stretch to see it a little bit better. She said, I would love to have a mind treatment to clear the fatigue that seems to have settled in the last 2 days. I'm just going to fatigue. Yeah, often happens. But I don't know if you've traveled or not, but very often when we travel, that happens too. So let me just see that. I know there is one power in one essence, and I know within this one power in essence, as I speak my word for Karen Lee, that there is an alignment that needs to come back into place. And in that alignment, it is the lining up with, I'm going to use the words Godhead, so that the energy can flow easily in through the head into the heart. I also see it coming out of the hands, but I also want to see it going a little deeper. I want it to go more into, I was going to say the backside. I think that's appropriate. And then down the legs into the bottoms of the feet and connect to the earth. So there is a real need here for connection to the earth as well. So it's like a stream of energy that comes through, not only from above, but also from below. And then the radiation of your vibration moves out into the world that gives such a just peace. It brings peace. And so the fatigue, sort of like a wondering, what if this and that. And so there's a little quietening down of the mind. I just want to remind a little bit of what we talked about in the beginning. And so just to allow that to come down and be at peace. And for this knowingness, I give thanks with great gratitude. And I release this thought knowing it's true for Karen Lee, that she is clear, she is balanced, and she's in her body in a whole new way. And so we release this knowing truth that it is done. And for that, I give thanks and say thank you, thank you, thank you. And a big breath. And as we release that. Okay, Karen. Hi, Karen. I would like a treatment for having a fulfilling and productive year. I also sent you an email. Yes, this afternoon I got that. I'm all ready. Thank you. It was okay. I'll be all ready tomorrow. Okay, I just want to make a note, Karen. So we want a fulfilling and productive year. Okay. I almost want to say, if you've got a quick time there before I begin, Karen, to type in 3 numbers between 1 and 22, please. If you've got time to do that, I'm going to give you just a few seconds as I just remind what it says in here, what we picked out today. I can choose to direct. My mind is a machine. I can choose to direct it instead of being directed by it. Okay, so 987. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to do the numbers first, and then we'll go in, because then I'll have a better idea of where we need to go with this. What this tells me, Karen, is that the answer truly lies inside yourself. And it's about alignment with all the sense of awareness of the direction, because, and I'm glad we're doing the work we're going to do tomorrow, because there needs to be a lot let go from the past. It's in really letting go at some very deep levels. And also I feel family ties somewhere back there, maybe between 10 and 15, that need to be released and let go. There is a sense of awareness of direction. So then knowing that, I know now that as we move into the mental mind treatment element, that there is light and love and knowingness and connection that comes, and that the fulfilling and productiveness in the life becomes easier, because there's not the handicap of old programming, old ideas, old awarenesses. They are cleared. And because of that, It's like looking at, you know how when the sun first comes up, it's like a ray, it's like rays of light. There's lots of demonstrations of that kind of a horizon and then these rays of light. I feel that you're coming into that possibility of being at one with the rays of life, of being able to move into a new direction, of being able to assimilate that and feel fulfilled and productive, because there's a new awareness. Instead of being hung back and unsure, there's a certainty, because it is time to let go of the past. It is time to unhook, to become all that you can be. And for this knowingness, I give thanks. And I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. As I release this thought, knowing it is true for you, Karen, that you are fulfilled and that you are productive and you are so much more than you've ever dreamt of. So blessings to you, my dear. Thank you very, very much. Okay, I'm just going to take a look where we're at here. A few more things have come in. I don't keep my eye on this all the time. Okay, Murray says, thanks. Norma, spot on for me too. Oh, okay. Yeah, we sometimes ride what we call piggyback on something. When I was doing a lot of group work and somebody was going through something, I would just say to the group, piggyback on this. In other words, just put yourself in the same line of where you are too. Okay, Jury, Jason, God bless everybody. Okay, Karen Lee, thank you very much. Kayla, she says, thanks for your blessings, insight, and love, because I've got a list for her. She always lets me know before. So let's do Kayla now. Actually, my essence goes out to her because she's just back from a long flight, and getting over those sometimes can take a few days. I know there is one power and there is one essence. And I know that in that essence, I can speak my word because we're all connected in that love force. I know that I wrote down here what I wanted to say with this because it's a little different than what you said to me. Oh, right. I got it. Sorry. I know that Kayla's highest and best is absolutely happening, that there's a rebalancing of all her systems so that she can sleep, so that the tendency to be tired, to have the legs strengthened and the mobility and the awareness, that there is a surge of energy that comes up through the earth, through her feet, that allow her to be aware of her potential of just being. But it's mostly about rebalancing the systems. The headache's gone, the weakness gone, the whole thing that is the concerns. It's like they slowly, it's like, how would I say, it's like a sieve where they slowly eke out. I'm not saying it's going to be immediate, but it's slowly, because the strengthening of the inner core is so strong, and the information that you get from the people that you go see that, take care of you, there is a rebalancing, but the balancing is happening in the spiritual world. And that is the knowingness that the universal love force is always working. And sometimes we just have to accept and relax and know that the highest and best is happening all the time. And as we move forward, there's going to be such a beautiful sense of releasing, knowing that through all the experiences you have had in the last, say, 2 weeks, that there is a new awareness and a growing. It almost feels like a palm tree in me, actually, is growing in knowledge and awareness, and where you now can fit in a different way. I was thinking of a palm tree, but it's the heart of that palm tree. I think there's a some people take that, not so much the coconuts on a palm tree, but the heart, where they have to kind of dig through the thick part. That I think people eat it. I'm not sure. I've not had it, but you can eat it. And it's just a tremendous sense of awareness. So it's about relaxing into the growth pattern that is coming from a different perspective and a different awareness that has been before, that brings love, light, strength, awareness, mainly because of this rebalancing of all your systems. I give thanks in knowing of this. I give thanks in being aware of all the beautiful things that are happening and will happen. And you can rest easy, because the sleeping, what you're doing right now, is important, and it's healing. It's healing. So as you go in, just ask for the balancing of all systems, not just one or two that you're concerned about, but all systems to come into absolute balance, and be aware. So because you have the growth, you have the wisdom, you have the awareness. And so I say, as I release this thought, knowing it is true and it is done, and so it is. Amen. Okay, let's back to here. And I thank you for all these people that are coming on. Just want to go where I am now. Kayla, Jerry, Jason. Oh, like your beautiful energy and energy here. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. Karen says, sounds wonderful. It is. Everything is really good. And Laurie says, heart of palm. You're right. Thank you. And you saw, I could see it. I forgot about that. I don't live where palm trees are anymore. Okay. While that goes on, I'm going back to my list. Now, I'm going, my list is Miss C. Okay. I know there is one power and one essence in this world. And I know that because of that, I can speak into this because it connects all of us. And as I speak my word for Miss C, I know there is a relaxing and a believing in self and the future. It's letting go the fear factor. The frustration as I move into this is that it is like an iron door. And I'm taking my own special blend of dissolving these kinds of energies that we have around us and just letting them go to break down, so that we not only let go the fear, but we let go the rigidity of the belief that this is all that life is giving us, and that it's hopeless and we can't do anything about it, but because we can. Love is an incredible force. Sometimes love, in different ways, we can work with that. Over the years, I've created, mentally, of course, not in chemicals, but different things to dissolve different things that I call upon. And people who've worked with me, it's like, oh, just a minute, I've got to put my little magic in there. And it's different kinds of magic. It's not always the same kind. But this is about breaking down the fear, breaking down the scaredness of what we can't create, what we can't do. And we mentally can believe, but we don't in our hearts believe. We don't understand that life is there to support you, that you have a support system that no matter what will work for you. It's a matter sometimes of letting go the mind, just letting go, and begin to have this word, and the word is trust. Not only trusting in the universal love force, but trusting in yourself to know, to be able to go deeper and to trust into those wonderful elements of who you are and where you're being. I am so grateful to Miss C to be open to relax and believe in herself in the future, to let go the iron of fear. don't know how if that's real, but that's how it feels. By just dissolving all of that. And it's the mental constructs that say we can't do this or we can't do that. And I'm drawn back in here, every problem is a gift, a teaching, and an opportunity. And it's like utilizing the opportunities to let go of these things that emerge, because they will. That's one thing life does. It brings to us situations, and we can emerge and through awareness and let them go, because we create the reality around us. Oh, I know the world's out there doing all sorts of things we don't like, but how do we handle it? How do we create it? What do we do? Do we build ourselves this fearful wall, or do we know that and believe that miracles can happen to ourselves, because they definitely can and will? And so I give thanks in the knowing, and I give things that have the ability of being able to share the knowledge at this moment, and that's that wisdom coming through. Because I'm given this. I was saying to somebody the other day, I'm at the point in my life sometimes I can't remember a word right away, and it's like when I'm doing these, they just come, because there's another power that works with me, and that power is there, and it works with me. It doesn't take over, but it's there, and I appreciate that. And I want you guys to know that you're not ever alone. Sometimes you just have to ask to be shown, or ask for support, or ask to feel the love that's there. It's always there. You just got to bring it in. You just got to invite it in. But those are other things that we do too at different times. Okay, I'm just getting up. John, hi. I owe you an email, John. And I haven't forgotten. It's just that I was busy through the holidays. Blessings and all the very best for the new year 2023. And I totally appreciate that. But I'm sure I owe you an email from something back, or a message or something. It's been at the back of my mind. Laurie, put it out in the universal love, and then relax and trust with it. I agree 100%. But you know what? When you have a habit, when you've been raised to fear, or you feel, and there's so much fear in the air, it's like what don't ever underestimate the people that are empathic, have tremendous empathy. The thought forms in our world right now are very fearful. I know. I'm around them a lot, and sometimes it feels like I'm fighting them every day, because there are certain things I do not want to support in my mental way. I just don't want to think about that. I like to think in the way I want to think. But empaths pick that up, what's out there. And out there right now, still, we've come through 2 years of phenomenal fear, and it's still there around. It's still there. So really, we must be aware that fear is in the air. There's a theme song for a TV thing. Something like being in the air. Love is all around. Well, fear is all around for most of us. And unless we have a real strong base in the universal love force, that fear comes in. And the next thing we know, our minds are connected to it. And then it affects us. And it's like to be empathetic and recognize they need our strength. So I'm glad you're here helping strengthen the essence, so that people can relax and believe in themselves. And it's learning to trust. And that's what a lot of my transformation work is about in the last couple of years. People, kept finding I'm experiencing anxiety, and working and having the trust to come back. Having trust to come back in the self, and believe that there is a power there that helps them create and works with them, which is great. And again, just before I go into the next person here, Terry says, hi, Madam Norma. I don't think of myself as a madam. But anyway, thank you for that. Happy New Year. Yes, may we do. I might be older, but I'm not that old yet. Okay. Where do I want to go from here? Oh, yeah, I've got to go up here to Miss R. This is around selling a property to get what they want. Now, I'm going to talk a little story here. This is what I find happens a lot. And I talked a little bit about this in my Sunday thought, when we're talking about creating for the next year, because that's often where people put out what they want. What I found very often, that people concentrate on the step of creating what they want rather than what it is they want. So when they're asking for a step, like, and I find this often, I'll say to people, well, we need to go you need to go think about this because it's your end result. So what is your end result? And now, but this person that I'm Miss R that I'm working for right now was insistent. I argued with them, actually. I kept saying, that is not your result. You're putting all this energy in this, but this is not what you want is the other. So, but I'm here to please. So we're going to do a treatment on selling the house, but we'll see what comes up because I know they want something else. They want to sell the house so they can get something else. That to me is the end result. You see, when you believe in miracles, which I do, you've got to get really clear on the end result that you want. If you just go for the step towards the end, it's like it makes it harder sometimes for it to come into fruition. It's like, because really it's only the step towards the actual end. So it is something to be aware of. I'm very aware of it because I've done it and I realize how it works. And the more I got into doing mental mind treatments, I realized how important that is. But anyway, I am commanded to do this. I will do it. Divine Essence, Mother, Father, Son is one. I'm doing a prayer for Miss R. So I do a prayer for Miss R. I know that selling the property, the house, the property that Miss R has in her mind is necessary for her to create what it is she wants. I know that all barriers for this house to sell will be cleared away, that the new agent in selling it will do the appropriate job, that the essence of this reward will create. So there'll be happiness, there'll be no worries, there'll be much more effectiveness in the life. For this knowingness of the house being sold so that she can go ahead and create what it is she wants, I give thanks. I give thanks in knowing that the step in this process, it is done. And because the step is done, that the next step can be created. We give thanks in knowing that steps are important. And so that allowing her to come to a place and a knowingness and awareness of freedom. And in the freedom comes delight and awareness as she moves forward. I give thanks in knowing that this is done and is created by saying, and so it is. Amen. Whew. I have to tell you, I had things on the back of my head while I was doing that. Okay. Any more things here? No, let's see. I ask for a healing for anger issues? Certainly. I am having problems with anger issues because I sometimes can't control my temper. Well, I have a little sheet that talks about anger. And I'm just going to do a little explanation before because I have time to do that. I make a little, how I do it when I'm drawing it on a board is I make a little oval and I cut it in half. And I'll say there's an issue out here and you have a choice. Some people will get depressed. Others will get angry. But underneath that, and it's a lot bigger than this, but this will explain this part, is that you feel helpless. So anytime you feel helpless, I know that you will go into anger. So the key is, number one, is to look for the helplessness. What am I feeling helpless in this situation? Am I feeling set upon? Am I feeling not worthy? Because that's at the bottom line of that too as well. But anyway, if you would like to see my sheet, you can always email me, norma.cowie.com, norma.cowie@gmail.com, and I would be happy to send you a copy of them because it's really important to understand the whole thing and what one can do. But we'll definitely do a prayer about it. But sometimes we have to also understand, and the consciousness is that every time you get to feel angry, you're really feeling helpless. And if you start looking at, what am I feeling helpless about here? you'll get more and more understanding of yourself. Okay. Anyway, let's see. I know there is one power and one essence in this universe that loves everybody equally. There is no thing about I love you more, I love you less. That's what we do to ourselves. And so in this moment, in this connection of this beautiful love force, I speak my word for Terry. As I speak my word for Terry, I know that deep down inside there is a big, I'm going to call it a big black hole that feels deserted, it feels unloved, it feels not connected, and there is an anger of feeling that others get but Terry doesn't get. There is this feeling of being separated. And so the frustration that is down there builds. So in knowing that, we can also know that there is a love force that exists that can come inside and gently and easily transform that isolation, that feeling of being misunderstood and especially not heard. It's like no one hears me, no one listens to me, no one cares. Well, the universe does. And so it's about breathing out that frustration of not being heard or seen the way you want to be seen and cared for. The allowing to letting go. And it's like letting the darkness out. Letting the darkness out. You know, light will always transform dark. And in that depth of you is just bring a spark of light and let it brighten it up. Let's bring every time you begin to feel that frustration, it's because it's a frustration even more than an anger. I see. Whoops, I'm getting dizzy here. That what you're needing to do is to bring light in. Think of a beautiful light coming in and growing within. Now, I utilize love for me, but I think that would be a big stretch maybe at the moment. But imagine light coming in, and it's like a dark room. You put the light on and it lights up. Allow that light to begin to grow within yourself. Allow yourself to feel free, to know that deep down there are people that will listen. There are people that care. But sometimes we have to allow ourselves to listen and care for ourselves first. The outside tends to reflect ourselves. We and the essence of who we are goes out and it gets reflected back so that we can see who we are and what we are. So as you begin to listen to yourself, the more you will have people listen to you. And the more you'll begin to realize that that big black bull that I first saw had dissipated, and anger, frustration, responding, and the helplessness that drives that will dissipate. I give thanks in knowing that this is done. I give thanks in knowing that Terry will have the ability to move forward free. It's a freedom. It's an inner freedom and a knowingness that there is love and light that's all around. And just to relax into that, you are not forgotten. You're not cast out, so to speak. You are loved for who you are. And now it's time for you to love you. And that way it will all come together. I give thanks in knowing this as I release this thought, because as it is done, by saying, and so it is. Amen. And I trust that you will keep coming and doing more. We do more work on different things, even if it's the same one. Okay? Thank you very, very much. I got to find where you were here. Terry. Yeah, he said, that's exactly how I feel. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it when people acknowledge that. Okay. Yeah, okay, I want to go down here. Highlander says hi. Then I say hi back. Well, hello, they say. Jerry, I get upset because my anxiety, I have trouble getting deep restorative sleep and feeling calm and relaxing. It helps your energy being, it sounds like nature and self-care. Yeah, nurture and self-care, I think it is. I'm going to have a drink of water. My head's getting light here. Okay, so what do we want here? What we want a treatment for? Thank you, Terry, for the comment down there. Hang on a minute. Just want to see here. I'm trying to think about where I want to go with this. I get upset because my anxiety, I think it says I there. I have trouble getting deep restorative sleep because I sleep anxiety and feeling calm and relaxing. It helps. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So we've got sleep, and I get a lot of people over the last 2 years with working with anxiety. It's amazing to me how much that goes on, and that's for Terry, right? Is that right? Yeah. No, it's for Jerry. Sorry, Jerry and Terry got. Okay. I asked Karen, I think it was, if she could give me 3 numbers between 1 and 22, and Jerry, if you could print out 3 numbers between 1 and 22, I'd appreciate it. Pick 3 numbers off the top of your head. That I just need I want to know more where I got to go with this. Can you do that for me, please? 3 numbers between 1 and 22. First 3 that come into your head. Give you a couple more seconds to do that because it'll make a difference for me. It'll just help. I just feel it's not straightforward. That's what I want. And while I'm waiting for you to do that, I just want to say, Highlander, thank you. I once was a student of mine many years ago. Wow, that's been a lot of years. Yes. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. I mean, I guess not. I guess he's not going to do that, unfortunately. Okay, I'll do what I can. Divine Essence, Mother, Father, Son as one. I'm doing a prayer for, he did. He's done it. And 27 is beyond 22, but anyway. Yeah, this helps. Okay. This is a lot about choice. It's about letting go of the past and really making a choice of your own spiritual direction. So what we want is clarity. It's what you want really is clarity, kiddo. If you have clarity, you'll be able to make your decisions of the direction that you want to go in. Okay. He says, I'm sorry. No, don't worry. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Now I know where I'm going. It was just so much there. Divine Essence, Mother, Father, and Son as one. I'm speaking my word for Jerry. And as I speak my word for Jerry and connect with the force of love and light, I know that the inner spark is ready to, it's almost like explode, but we don't want exploding because that's too much. We want it to slowly build in an awareness that we not only have clarity of mind, but we have clarity of emotion, and we have clarity of how the past has affected the direction that you're heading. As you become clearer and make the decision, because the bottom line of this is not only letting go of the past, but the decision of where you want to go and what you want to create and what you want to do. Everything is based on decision as far as I'm concerned. And in this case of you getting what is that you need, the sleep, the deepest sleep, but I think the clarity of your mind, how your mind works, and to understand what's beneficial to you and what isn't beneficial to you. As you decide that, as you begin, often in one of my books I wrote, make a line on the page and put don't want, and you'll write the things that you don't want and write the things that you want, and you'll find often the don't want list is bigger That means the mind is putting more emphasis on what you don't want. So it is important that you're able to move in the direction of where you want to go. I think with that, it brings clarity, awareness, love, perspective, and that all things will come much, much easier and much better for you. I'm giving this at this point, and I hope you come back and ask more, because it's like a little bulb in the ground has a little shoot, and we can help nurture that, and we can help bring that forth and know that you have clarity and you have essence. I give thanks in knowing this, that there's a quietness there, there's a buddingness, but it'll come from your decision. You have a choice. You can choose to let the old past rule, or you can choose to go into new pastures, which are new. And you're not quite sure where they're going to lead or what they're going to bring. So it'll be great as far as I'm concerned. So we release this thought, knowing that they've got help from the other side, waiting. They're waiting for you to make the decision to learn more, to grow more, to be more relaxed, and have faith and trust, as we all need. And for that, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. So there, Mr. Jerry, thank you. And okay, before I look at anything, Highlander, thank you very much. Yes, please. I have 3 different things I do in different spaces and different times. Just nervous. I understand that. That's why we're here, to help you. For those, if you don't know already, Jerry, I have a small talk I do on Sundays called a Sunday Thought, and I have a bigger talk on Wednesdays that go on a little longer in time. Okay, I've got to do something here for Mr. C before the end of the day here, because it's getting time. You know, for myself, when you know somebody and you love them and you want them to prosper and you want them to be happy and you want them to create what you want, sometimes it's like, okay, where do we go with this, or what do we do? So I'm going to put a highest and best twist on because I want for this person, Mr. C, I want the highest and best for him. And sometimes we're not always aware of what that is. I'll just tell you something funny over the years. Over the years, I first learned how to do treatments, asking for the highest and best. And I used to say, I would do my daily prayers for the highest and best, and then I would duck. Why did I say that? Is because sometimes for your highest and best, you've got to confront that which has to be let go, because that's what's blocking, as we've seen in several cases tonight. We have to let go of the past. So let's see what we get here. Divine essence. Mother and father, son. Okay, I can do it that way too. Mother, father, son. Yeah. It's a Hawaiian prayer, that actually. I speaking my word for Mr. C, who has a career that he wants to create and move. But to do that, he needs money to be able to do that with ease and grace. So it is my prayer for this person, my treatment of love and light, that his highest and best will be done, that the money will come in, that his skin will be where he wants it to be, that everything in his life move. And it's one of those things you see, they move things top and bottom to make them come together. It's like moving everything to come together in oneness. And in that, there is a tremendous sense of relief. And I feel that the inner being of him, the anxieties that are felt, the uncertainty, that all of that really is released. And there is just joy of realizations of the bigger picture and the bigger awareness, and knowing that miracles occur sometimes in the most unusual way. And I give thanks in knowing this, that Mr. C is in the vortex of moving things together as his highest and best comes together to allow so much more than he's even dreamt of. And I give thanks in knowing this, and I release this thought knowing it is done by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, I think I'm pretty done here. Now, I have made a couple of mistakes last year as we were learning how to get through this. I often say, okay, this is it. I always like to do a final prayer. And then somebody writes something, and then I come back and I realize in retrospect, because in a way, a closing, I have often not done the best job when I've come back. I mean, because I can always pray. There's no doubt about that. I can always do mental mind treatments. But really, when it comes to the end of time, I like to do a mental mind treatment and for closing. And I've decided I'm going to put my hands up like this so that the energy can come through this so that you can breathe it in. Okay. And this is something that I did lots of thinking over the days I had off. So, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to make it work more effectively for everyone. So, I also want to make sure I myself is in the best shape it can be too. Okay. I know the one power and the one essence loves us all so much. Not in the sense like pouring a glass of water and it's just there. It is like a constant when the light is always on. But I also know that to be one with that love, we need to bring it in. We need to have an awareness. And so as I connect to this love, I know that this love is there for each person to breathe into their inner core and allow it to balance who they are and what they are, to allow their goals and their awarenesses to come into being so that they can move forward with love, with light, with freedom, and being aware that all things are there for them. But mostly, and this is to embrace the love force, to allow, not to be frightened of it, but to allow it in, that feeling, because it's, you can reach out for it and feel it for a moment, but the best is to have it inside so it radiates, so you can access it at any time and any day. I give thanks for anybody that listens to this. I give thanks with love and vibration of knowing that any healing that they need in their lives can be activated, can become real, that the love force is there for them and through every fiber of their being, no matter what the ailment, whether it be mental, emotional, physical, or anything else, that they are clearly loved 100%, and to allow that love to be part of who they are. I give thanks in knowing this for myself and for everybody else. And I release this thought knowing it is true for anybody that has listens, or B, that they are at one and they can move forward into their lives to create peace, joy, happiness, and most of all, knowing they are loved beyond measure. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. And so I say thank you. I want to thank everybody who's here tonight. There's a lot of you that I have not seen before. I give thanks for you coming in. I trust that you'll come back or you tell your friends. I also will be here Wednesday, every Wednesday. I record on Zoom. And if you want to be part of that or to listen to that, you can let me know and I'll send you the link. I also know that Sundays I am actually, there's room for you to join some, but I never know. Wednesday and Sunday, I never know exactly what time. I don't have a set time like I do on Monday nights. I want you to go have a great week. And know next Monday night I'll be here again. Much love to you all. Blessings. And I'll say bye for now.